we want you to bring the anti-slavery amendment to the...
The First Amendment doesn't protect people who have knowledge of an
Except the First Amendment of the Constitution.
Well, there goes the Fourth Amendment. What's left of it?
14th Amendment to the United States Constitution says...
We contend that the First Amendment does protect Rachel Armstrong.
We're standing on the First Amendment, freedom of the press, and the right to protect...
We do respect the Fourth Amendment in this country.
More amendments, more changes, and the bill goes back to...
You realize you're messing with the First Amendment now.
I got First Amendment rights, and I ain't turning off shit.
Thus, and what is the reason for this thusness?
James, we want you to bring the anti-slavery amendment to the floor for debate.
Excuse me,
immediately.
1969, it is not illegal to advocate violence.
The First Amendment doesn't protect people who have knowledge of an actual crime.
What knowledge of a crime do I have?
Nothing's writing on this except the First Amendment of the Constitution, freedom of the press, and maybe the future of the country.
I was going to, but she's too busy yelling at the TV.
Well, there goes the Fourth Amendment. What's left of it?
Hey, Maria.
Hello, Mr. Bobby.
The 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution says all people must be treated equally under the law.
Mr. Dubois? In fact, that's it in a nutshell.
We contend that the First Amendment does protect Rachel Armstrong. I'm well aware of cases in this circuit in which...
In collaboration with the news division. We're standing on the First Amendment, freedom of the press, and the right to protect our sources. Walsh thinks we can knock...
Violence Act, the FISA court. We do respect the Fourth Amendment in this country, and we issue warrants based on suspicion, but...
Where are we now?
We're over in the House.
Oh, yeah, House. More amendments, more changes, and the bill goes back to the Senate. The Senate doesn't like what the House did to the bill, they make more changes.
So you realize you're messing with the First Amendment now. Come on, open up.
Good to you.
Turn off the phone.
I'm a journalist. I got First Amendment rights, and I ain't turning off shit.
Turn off that
You're
fucking
with my
phone.
rights.
Let's go out of the vehicle.
You ever heard of women's lib?
The suffragette movement, 19th Amendment, Rosie the Riveter, bra burning, Gloria Steinem.
No, it'll be an act of solidarity. They'll be defending the First Amendment. We'll tell them that the only way to protect the right to publish...
You're just friends with them, which you probably are. I mean, come on, who the hell are we kidding? Let's face it. Which brings us back to the earlier rule before the amendment, which is men and women can't be friends. So
What do you do then?
Did you ever read the Second Amendment? What does it say? Really? In a well...
But what senator would have the courage to propose such a radical amendment?
If only Senator Amidala.
On into politics. What's going to be your platform, Big Sam? Repeal the 14th and the 20th Amendment, take the vote away from the women, and make slaves out of them. Hey.
Miranda? I mean, you must have heard of the Fourth Amendment. What I'm saying is that it had to be added to and changed from time to time by things called amendments. Now, does anybody remember? Who lay out of your hand?
Permitting the calling of any witness to promulgate evidence of innocence. That's clearly stated in the Sixth Amendment. It's also profound in Brady versus Maryland.
Mr. Jones, there's ample procedural reason. We know the search is tainted, and Fourth Amendment issues will always weigh more heavily in an appellate forum. We've got to...
I am my ass.
End up in a high-profile lawsuit with Lowell, the First Amendment martyr?
United States Constitution.
Of course. That's brilliant.
What's the 14th Amendment?
The state can enforce no law which abridges the privileges or immunities of its citizens.
Victor, when we put this thing to bed, you can brand the Fourth Amendment on my butt. Thank you.
Sir, excuse me, your wife is on...
Somebody killed the guy you were trying to kill? What are we calling this?
Clear violation of his Eighth Amendment rights. Cruel and unusual punishment.
Law school.
Yeah, the
Assistance of counsel for his defense.
Well, I know the Sixth Amendment, but I believe in the Sixth Amendment. I mean, that's why I left the public defender's office. There was no...
And you gotta calm down.
Like the
I've had it. I've had it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
No express right to privacy.
Really?
First Amendment, privacy of the home. Third Amendment, privacy of the person. Fourth and fifth, privilege against self-incrimination.
Okay, look, I represent the interests of the parent company. If you want to make a First Amendment case out of this, be my guest, but you will need another attorney. As far as I'm concerned...
It's just this, Harry. It may take a little more time.
And a little more money. Yeah, why more?
Well, for one thing, the whole amendment has to be redrafted.
I don't want to...
Hey, man! First
Amendment. Right to free speech.
The hell is free speech?
Let him go. We've got
The bloody piano. And the charge was not buggery. It was gross indecency contrary to Section 11 of the Criminal Law Amendment Act of 1885. It was the same law that convicted Oscar Wilde.
Right here. Congress just passed an amendment to the United States Constitution.
How much more money do you need?
This amendment commemorates the new agreement between you and Mr. Best. If you fail...
The 45th President of the United States. Under the terms of the 25th Amendment, Nance has been acting with full executive authority since Bill Mitchell's incapacitation.
Go through. You understand, of course, that with the new amendment to the law, we must expect to be worked really very hard. Very hard indeed. Until we can arrange...
I to go wherever I like in this sad little country. That's their law. That's our law. You impede me, you're breaking the Cooper Church Amendment.
Well, up the Cooper Church Amendment's ass!
Spadanya. It costs money to print those.
How would you like to learn about the First Amendment?
This is a nightmare.
Dalton?
The Constitution, specifically the 9th Amendment, does not state that you have the right to be mentally healthy.
The Museum of Modern Art has been very generous, and the proof of the strength of the Equal Rights Amendment is that so many of you who would never do it
has ever been made public. I have not taken refuge behind the Fifth Amendment, though it is my right to do so.
I have a response for you very soon. An amendment to the bill might just force the change towards the vote.
Free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of...
Stop. Regurgitating memorized amendments isn't what I'm asking for. Just tell me something about it in your own words.
The Supreme Court has roundly rejected prior restraint.
This is not a First Amendment thing, man.
If you don't calm down, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
To force them to work violates the 13th Amendment's prohibition against slavery or involuntary servitude.
You know, if that's the best the judge has to offer, he should
Event of her husband's death 46 years ago. In combination with 635 amendments, notations, corrections, and letters of wishes.
I don't need a moment. It is my right, under the freedom of the First Amendment, to protect my sources.
Listen. Don't go any further.
Hey.